My name is David Fursaladze, and I work as a cybersecurity data scientist at the Information Security Office at the UT Austin. Cybersecurity data scientist looks at information, logs, network logs, other kinds of logs, and tries to find some data insights or suspicious activity if it's going on. There is something called the baseline traffic. It's traffic that is normal. People logging in from their homes, logging in from the university, maybe downloading or uploading a certain amount of data, and this is used as a baseline. But if you see that somebody who's been logging in from Texas suddenly is logging in from Spain, and they're downloading a lot of information from our internal network, now that should raise an alert. If you're doing DNS tunneling, you look at the DNS queries, and there are normal DNS queries that are, like Google.com or like Maps Google.com, and they're like weird queries that are not supposed to be there. They may be very long. There might be encoded information, and that is what I'm looking for. You need to have an analytical mind, and you need to be able to look for patterns that are not obvious. You need to be able to kind of marry this mathematical concept with domain knowledge. The mathematical concept is you build a model, right? So there's two ways you build a model. There's supervised machine learning and there's unsupervised machine learning. In my case, I mostly do supervised machine learning because we have normal activity and anomalous activity, and we need to be able to separate it. But the thing is, sometimes the data is just not there. If it's new malware, you don't even know that it's there, right? So you don't really have those samples that say, hey, this is a new malware. So you kind of have to build a system that is agnostic to type of malware. So you need to look at a general problem. I grew up in Georgia in the 90s. I went to a school that had a very strong math and physics background. I was a team member of the Georgian national physics team. When I graduated, I went to Russia to pursue my master's degree. And after that, I ended up at UT doing PhD in physics. By the end of my PhD, I realized that academia is not something I want to do for life. And I started looking for ways to switch to industry. The very first thing I did is I just downloaded a bunch of books. I took some online courses. I built my own projects for the interviews. And I started applying here and there. One of the projects that I worked for actually landed me the interview because the interviewer was really impressed with what I've done. And I started my first job at a marketing company, which was really a nice experience for me because I've never worked a corporate job before. But then COVID happened and half of the employees got laid off. And then I started working at UT in like 3 or 4 months after I got laid off. I think it's a perfect job for me because I love data science. I like building models. But also, I was like a huge nerd when it came to computers. I spent a lot of time tinkering with stuff, wrote my own games, played video games as well. So cybersecurity is a very interesting topic for me. I feel that cybersecurity is something that is doing a lot of good. I've known people that are victims of phishing. I've been the victim of a hack. That's a really, really bad feeling. Like when somebody gains access to your computer and goes into your bank accounts and tries to buy, Amazon gift cards. I don't want anyone to experience it. So cybersecurity, I feel like when I'm doing cybersecurity, I'm doing something good. Some of the things that defenders are doing to detect the suspicious activity are really fascinating. Like we all know about honeypots. When somebody infiltrates your system, you put this like fake pieces of information, and then if they open it, you know that something weird is happening. But they now take it to the next level. So you have an organization, and when something like that happens, they just spin up a bunch of fake machines with fake names, with fake information, fake data. So what they do basically is they poison the data for the attacker because they're just downloading useless stuff. And I think it's really fascinating and cool. I think cybersecurity will go more into the AI department. I think it's a double-edged sword because you can use AI for the good and for the evil, right? So I think it's gonna be a back and forth between attackers and defenders. If you want to get into cybersecurity, you need to have some coding background. You don't have to be a C++ god, but you need to know how to script. You need to learn Unix, Linux, and you probably need to play with some of the open source cybersecurity tools like Strike. I would recommend to get some certifications and learn some of the tools that are used for detection.